Hello Sorax Spacers, so this is the very first pickups video on the Sorax Space channel. So in that case I've got some games that I bought from the past, just to not miss out on the opportunity to show you those, because obviously this is the first one and there's been a lot you've missed out on. So, and I'm also going to throw in ones I've got more recently too. I'm going to just number these videos I think, rather than do monthly ones, because I might not be able to do them every month and stuff like that, so I'll just number them. So here's number one, and a good start, the Sonic Toaster. Not strictly a game, but I just had to show you this. You're probably wondering why it's so lightweight. It's after you get out of the box, and I'll show you afterwards. This is just to show you the box for now. This was a very limited edition, apparently. More went into production, I think, after they sold a lot, but when Sega announced this, I initially thought this must be a joke, and I think a lot of people did. They thought it was just like some meme, because the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter account in particular is known to be quite funny and put some jokes out there. So when they tweeted out that they was going to make a Sonic Toaster, we thought it was a joke, but no, they were really going to do it. They needed at least 1,000 orders, and I was one of them that ordered it. They surpassed that massively, I think. The last I saw was 1,400, but that was ages ago, so ages ago. So yeah, they beat it quite comfortably. I don't know how many they did actually sell, but yeah, I bought it. Unfortunately, it's got a standard US plug, so I can't use it here in the UK. So, but I just bought it just for a collector's item. Don't know if you can see that, but it says got a toast fast on the front there, and he's holding a slice of bread on the side. Either that or his thumb is turned into a slice of bread, which would be quite unfortunate. But Sega have left a nice message on the back. Don't know if you can see that. I'll read it out now. Hey you, yes you, with the face, reading this note. You know what? You're pretty great. You're one of the chosen few who helped make this toaster a reality. Without you, we'd be forever doomed to the same boring, generic crispy bread. So from all of us at Sega, here's a toast to you. Thank you for making our fans' dreams come true. Well, thank you Sega. I'm not sure how many fans are actually dreaming of a Sonic Toaster, but enough people have bought it. So, and there's another message on the side here. It says, are you tired of the same old toast? Do you find yourself constantly on the go and need a quick breakfast before you head out to collect those rings? Well, we have the toaster for you. And I'll just pick it up and show you now. As you can see, standard US plug. We've got 3 prongs here in the UK, so I can't use it. But either way, it's nice to own. There it is. And it's got cancel, defrost, reheat and bagel on the side, and a timer. And you won't be able to see it now, I don't think, but there's a sonic element in there, heating element. So when you toast your bread, you'll have one sided toasted and one with Sonic Space on. So yeah, thanks Sega for making that a reality. The next one I wanted to talk about is Final Fantasy Origins on the PlayStation 1. You might be able to see this is actually still in its original seal. So I don't know how some people feel about keeping games sealed. I know some people aren't very fond of that, they think you should just unwrap it, but I thought it'd be really nice to keep this sealed. And it's Final Fantasy, the original one, and Final Fantasy 2 on the PlayStation, and I bought this years ago, between 10 and 15 years ago, so a long time now, from eBay, and it was £20 all those years ago. And if you look on eBay now, unsealed, I believe they're going for anywhere between, well, around £30, and sealed you're looking at between 50 and maybe up to 70. So I got a good deal on the 20 quid. So it's nice to own and nice to have in its original seal. Sticking with Final Fantasy, next we've got Final Fantasy 7 on the PlayStation 1. What an absolutely fantastic game this was. You've probably already seen the cash converters sticker there. Picked up in cash converters, £1.99. So an absolute bargain for what this is. As I say, this is one of my favourite games of all time. I actually only completed it a few years ago. I bought this, I bought this in 2009, so we are going back. And surprisingly, UK viewers, cash converters are still going. I don't know how, they just seem to sell crappy instruments like guitars with only 2 strings and stuff, so I don't know how they're still going. I really don't, but they still are somehow. And I already had a copy of this, but there's no way I was leaving this for £1.99. Yeah, I only completed it a few years ago, but even though I only completed it a few years ago, it's still one of my favourite games of all time. It's 3 discs of brilliance. It's just, if only all games were made with this much creativity and thought and effort that went into it. Just open it up to show you the 3 discs. And it's complete with its manual and everything all in good condition, so absolute bargain. If you were to buy this on eBay today, it goes for around 15 quid, so it's not massively rare, but for £1.99 it's still a bargain. And if you haven't played this game yet, put it on your bucket list to play, because it is absolutely fantastic. Next, this really is an absolute bargain. It's Battletoads Double Dragon on the NES, complete with its box and instructions. I got this on eBay, and for those of you that know anything about it, you know it is very rare to get hold of. I got this on eBay for 7 quid, buy it now. If you want to buy this game unboxed, just the loose cart on its own, you're looking at about 30 quid. And if you want it with its box and manual and stuff, you're looking at about 70, sometimes even higher. So to pay basically 10 times less the price, 7 quid to get this complete, is just an absolute bargain. Maybe the guy, well obviously the guy didn't know how much it was worth, or just getting rid of old games that he didn't think were worth anything. And I was just lucky enough that I snapped it up as soon as it went on eBay. We're lucky like that sometimes. I don't have much luck on eBay, but this time I did. So the box is a little bit tatty, a little bit, looks like it's got some slight water damage to it, but I'm not complaining at all for 7 quid. Not at all. There's the cart, all in good condition, all in good nick. I've tested it, obviously, and it works. For those who don't know, Battletoads Double Dragon, obviously Battletoads and Double Dragon were 2 separate games, and this was like a cross-universe type game. So the Battletoads entered the world of Double Dragon with Billy and Jimmy, or Bimmy, for those in the know, on Double Dragon 3 I think it was, with the mess up of the name in the cutscene. But as you can see, it's all in really good nick, other than the case is a little bit battered, but 7 quid, what an absolute bargain. The next ones worthy of a mention are Fallout 3 and Bioshock with its little slipcase. Bioshock, as you can probably tell from the sticker on the front, I got it for £10 and it was from CEX, but it was back in probably around 2009, sometime like that, and it is just an absolutely fantastic game. If you haven't played Bioshock and you're into sort of RPGs, first person RPGs and shooters, then definitely give this a go if you haven't already played it. It is very, very good, and the story's good, and it's just a very good game. You get engrossed in the story quite a lot. So for £10 with its slipcase, I thought that was a very good deal, considering game prices nowadays. You can pay like 40 or 50 quid for absolute rubbish nowadays, but I think you can go and pay £10 for gems like this. Very good. And we've got Fallout 3. You can just about make out how much I paid for that. 15 quid if you can't see that, from CEX, as I say. And again, this is one of my favourite games of all time, and that is not an understatement. It is just an absolutely fantastic game. It's a bit riddled with, riddle is maybe a too strong a word, but it's got some bugs and glitches in it, so save your game regularly is what I would suggest with games like this. But it can be forgiven, because it's just, well, with these type of games, the open world games, you're going to get bugs and glitches, unfortunately, but it is just an absolutely fantastic game. And I remember saying at the time, do I have the receipt? Yeah, I do have the receipt, sorry. It was 2009, so we're going a while back when I bought this, but I remember saying at the time it was the best 15 quid I ever spent, and that may still be true today. It's just brilliant. If you are a fan of RPGs or first person RPG shooters, this is up there with the best of them, so give it a go if you haven't already, definitely. Next up, the Silent Hill collection on the PlayStation 2. Yeah, again, I've got the receipt for this. I used to, when I bought games from shops, tend to keep the receipts in the case, just as a, so I know how much I bought them for and when I bought them. Obviously I buy most of my games online now, so I don't really do that anymore, but you can always look back at your emails, I suppose. I bought this in 2006, and it from Game, and it was £34.99. when it first came out, and it's slightly quite rare to get hold of with this. It's not the rarest of games to get hold of, but it is quite rare. It came out to coincide with the Silent Hill movie, I believe, at the same time, 2006. And it's got Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 3, and Silent Hill 4, The Room, which was like a first-person one, that was. I really need to play more of these. I've got Silent Hill on the PlayStation 1, which was a very good game. It's got a very unique atmosphere to it. They really did that well, and they've given you all of the manuals separately there. And UMD, if you remember those, for the PSP advert for the Silent Hill experience. Yeah, I thought that was quite an interesting pickup, really, to get all of them in one collection. And as I say, I need to go back and play these, really. Now for more recent ones, we've got Sonic Mania Plus, which has got a lovely shiny case to it. That's very nice. And I'd already bought this on the PS4, but to be able to play it on the Switch, you know, handheld as well, and with an art book, very nice, and a interchangeable cover as well. I've gone for the Mega Drive style cover, but you can have a cover very similar to, or if not the same as that as well, but I've gone for the Mega Drive one, which is a nice touch, and I paid $24.99 for it on eBay. So yeah, not bad. I haven't completed this one yet. I've completed the original one on the PS4. So yeah, I need to go back and play that. Now, talking of Sonic, I thought I'd mention these. I got these prints recently of Sonic, and at the bottom, don't know if you can see that, it's signed by Duncan Gutteridge, who did illustrations and artwork for Sega. I got these signed in person at Play Expo London 2018 this year, and he's just such a lovely bloke, he really is. I was talking to him about his time at Sega and stuff, or drawing for Sega I should say, and I just love these prints. He was selling them at Play Expo. These ones here, these smaller ones, were only a £5 each, and he signed them for me. I bought the frame myself, but they are very nice, they really are, and he had a few more. I could have bought more, I really could have, but... And this bigger one, A3, signed again by Duncan Gutteridge, that was a tenner. And I was explaining to him on the day that this imagery of Sonic 2, this particular image, is just ingrained in my memory. It's when I think of when I was young, first playing Mega Drive, it's this image in particular that springs to mind. It's a big part of my childhood, this image, so I just had to buy this. And you'll see them in future Sorax Space reviews, I think, because I've hung them up. You might have seen in my Ministry announcement video. So that'd be my new background rather than the two posters. But yeah, I thought I'll give those a mention because they're really, really nice. Next, the Mega Drive Classics collection on the PlayStation 4. I got this for, I think it was £24.72, something like that. So let's just say 25 quid. It's got over 50 games. It did have a poster inside here, but I've actually put it up on my wall. Streets of Rage and something on the other side. It's not a bad collection. I want to mention this, which I got ages ago, the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection on the PlayStation 3, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with this collection, and when it first came out I just thought it was absolutely fantastic to be able to play all of the games in HD. And the main thing is, this has got Sonic 3 on it, and this doesn't, which is a disappointment. It's got all the other main ones, you know, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, loads of other games, and it's also got online multiplayer, which was something that this game was missing. So I haven't really used it though, to be fair, but it is good to play online with your friends. And it's also got a rewind feature, which is cheating really. I know you don't have to use it, but it makes all of the trophies pretty easy to obtain because they don't like disable if you use it, I don't think. It's got challenges as well, so beat a level, you know, with so many whatever, you know what I mean, challenges. So that is a good addition, which the PS3 one didn't have. But I didn't really need to buy this really, because the PlayStation 3 one, as I said, there's nothing wrong with it. But I bought it again because I'm a sucker for these sort of things. I put it off for a while, but I did get it eventually. So if I was to suggest one of them, and you've got a PlayStation 3, I would suggest getting the PlayStation 3 one. But if not, then it's still worth picking up, but it's just missing Sonic 3, probably due to music copyright issues. That's what I would guess. Sticking with the more recent ones, Shenmue 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 4. I got this for £22.85 I think, so let's just say 23 quid, but yeah, £22.85 I think it was. I hadn't played the original Shenmue games on the Dreamcast, so this is a very good opportunity for me to get into the series before the new one comes out, and it is very, very good. I think to fully appreciate how good it is, you sort of need to have been at the time of the original and played the original, because coming back to it now without having played the original, it does seem to be a lot of walking around and just finding out clues, and you know, some of it can be a bit tedious, but it's still a very good game. I haven't completed it yet, so I've got a long way to go to complete it. So to show you the inside, it's got a very nice poster inside as well, and there's the disc. Next, Mario Tennis Aces. You may have seen I did a video on this, and that's the main reason why I bought it. It's not a bad game. 40 quid I paid for it on eBay. There's not much to show you in there, is there? Just the little cartridge there at the bottom, and I guess you can call it an instruction manual. But yeah, I bought just to review. It's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. I wouldn't have bought it if I wasn't going to review it, I don't think. And there are other tennis games out there. It's just not bad. And last but not least, Spider-Man, or Marvel Spider-Man, or Marvel Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4. I paid $48.99 for it, but I got the Steelcase edition. And there's a weird thing about this that I want to talk about. I bought the Steelbook edition, right? So you think you just get the Steelbook, but they give you the standard case as well. And that'd be all well and good. You know, I'm using the standard one at the moment. I could use the Steelbook, and Spider-Man is doing his selfie pose there, and I could just put the disc in there and use that, but they haven't printed the game name on the side, and I think they should. I mean, because if I go and store this, I won't know what that is. If I go back years later, I won't remember what that is. It's just a blank red case. So at the moment I'm using just the standard one, so I actually know when I store it what it is. It's weird. I haven't had a game before where you buy a Steelbook edition and they give you both. And as I say, I'm using the standard case, so I know actually what I'm storing. But anyway, that's a rant over about the Steelbook. As a game, it's very good. Now, saying it's not a masterpiece, I haven't completed it yet, so I'll I can make a better judgment once I complete it. Graphically, it's brilliant, but there's puzzles in it which are quite tedious and old-fashioned. They just seem to have been thrown in there just to say they've varied up the gameplay, and it doesn't really add much to the experience. If not, it just makes it more boring. So it is good so far, and graphically it is just fantastic. It looks really, really good. So I need to complete it to make a better judgment, but it is good so far. So that was my very first pickups video. I'm going to do a few more of these hopefully, so let me know what you think, let me know your thoughts on the games I've picked up, and yeah, I've been Sorax, watch this space. Cheers guys.